Hello everyone, Milan here, and today I am going to do a TPOT prediction as of TPOT 15. Okay, in my last prediction, I correctly predicted that Basketball and Robot Flower would be eliminated, and I got the elimination orders somewhat close, as well as predicting that Gady would get taken by one. I also predicted that Team 2 and Cloudier would lose next, which is half correct, because Cloudier won, but Team 2 lost along with Death Pact yet again. But it's time for episode 16 and to see who's eliminated. I see that it's most likely that Death Pact yet again has their elimination first, because they had less points. Even though they helped the timeline the most, that isn't what the challenge was about. So, yeah. First two safe, obviously, are Black Hole and Marker. Haha! Everyone is just gonna say, heh, funny, green, and and I can guarantee that Marker received a lot of votes just because of that change. Fanny is definitely the third safe, though. I've been debating with myself a lot about who is going to be eliminated. On one hand, since Tree got a decent amount of votes last time, it might just be the same dilemma that happened last time, which ended up resulting in him being in the bottom two with Gady. People thought that he was popular enough to get votes, so they aren't voting for him. And if I am correct, his fan base overlaps with a bunch of other characters. So they're likely to say, haha, I vote Marker because green is funny, and not vote for Tree. On the other hand, Pin doesn't really have any friends left on the team. Both Gady and Robot Flower are eliminated, but that also means that she isn't splitting votes with anyone. The reason that she was in the bottom two all the way back when Coiny was eliminated is because she was splitting her votes with both Needle and Coiny, both of which are eliminated. And though she has no friends, as I said, that means that she is not splitting her votes. Also, another point, people are growing to hate her in BFDIA. So with her possibly getting eliminated soon, would that mean that they would want her to stay so they can see more of her? Or they wouldn't want her to stay because they don't like her anymore because of BFDIA? A bunch of questions, but I'm saying that the last one safe is gonna be Pin. I've been telling myself for a long time that Tree would be surviving over Pin, but just looking over the facts, I don't see it being very likely. And just to increase one's threat, I see him getting taken. Now for Team 2's elimination. Okay. So, now to again talk about splitting votes. Ice Cube, Book, and Price Tag are friends, but so are Grassy and Snowball. So all of them will definitely be splitting their votes with other characters. Excuse me. Either way, I see the first safe still being Grassy because the kids refuse for them to die. A lot of people have been saying that Price Tag could potentially get eliminated here, but I personally don't agree because they have had a good record of being the second one safe every single time they're up for elimination, even when they're splitting votes with characters like Book. So I see them getting second safe, and you might call me insane, but I'm saying that Book will be third safe. That means that I am predicting the bottom two are Ice Cube and Snowball. Snowball has been losing votes because their voters are voting for Grassy, and Ice Cube just has the smallest fan base and is by far the most danger. Oh, by the way, if you guys wanted to know who I voted for in this episode, I voted for Fanny and Ice Cube. Doesn't change the fact Ice Cube's getting out, though. I see them also getting taken by one. Okay, and inside of episode 16, I could just say that and Cloudier would lose because they didn't lose in the last episode. But that would be too obvious. And yes, they do have more members than the other teams. But yet again, I feel like that would be too obvious for them to do that. So I feel like what they would do is they would have both Team 2 and Cloudier lose in episode 16. Yes, that's what I was predicting would happen in episode 15. Give me a break. Burp, burp, bitter, burp, 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 burp. Okay, then episode 17. I say that we start with Claudier's elimination. So, is anyone really safe here? If anyone is, then it's Golf Ball. Pencil 2, probably, even though they have caused a lot of chaos on their team, and they just lost one of their characters to bounce off of. They still debuted recently-ish, so I see them surviving, along with Winner. The other three I can all see getting eliminated. Donut already had Barf Bag get eliminated, but at the same time, that was partially due to them splitting votes, which, as I've said before, splitting votes in a vote to save format is never good. Yellowface has been getting a few more fans, and Pillow has just been being Pillow. And I see Pillow is escaping the bottom too. That means that Donut and Yellowface are in the bottom too. Sorry I'm having to blow my nose so much. It's just really stuffy. So once again, I have been telling myself, if Cloudier lost again, Donut is going out. But Donut hasn't been in BFDIA, and they still don't have arms, as well as potentially having something happen with one. So I see that Donut actually survives here, meaning the unfortunate elimination of Yellowface, just after I started to enjoy him. I see him not getting taken by one, though. Now time for Team 2's elimination. Grassy is once again the first safe, and I'm going to say that Price Tag's streak fails because Book is next safe, meaning Price Tag and Snowball are the bottom two. Once again, Snowball has been losing some votes to Grassy, and Price Tag, even though they have a pretty good voting record, they haven't had any other seasons, and they lost a character to bounce off of, which means they're splitting votes with less characters, potentially, but that also means that it leaves more room for Book to develop, which means that some of their voters would be voting Book instead, which would be bad for Price Tag, because once again, a lot of their fans like Book too. And I'm going to say it. Snowball's out. Some people have predicted he would make it to the final two, but I do not see him surviving any longer. I see him being taken by one, though. Grassy is now emo. Now I think Dut and Cloudy are going to lose because they're up, and also one of them lost the last episode, so it wouldn't be too predictable. So let's go on to episode 18. I'm going to say that has their elimination first. I'm going to say that my prediction for them was a bit off. I predicted Lie would be safe, followed by TB, then TV, Bottle, and Pen escapes the bottom two. I still got who was eliminated right, but there are some things off. TB was first safe, followed by Lie, and then it was Pen. Then it was TV, leaving Bottle in the bottom two. Or were TV and Bottle swapped? I'm too lazy to check. But I see TB definitely being the first one safe. And I'm saying that it's going to be followed by Pen. Okay, this may surprise you, but I think the writers don't want Lie being in. I think that in the Exeter debut, they wanted Pencil to be in. They did so much to try to make Pencil be in. They didn't have Robotty be in the main story, making them out of the contention. One of the groups have basically nothing going for them and have no characters that are really that liked inside of them, leaving just Pencil's group and Lie's group. They put Bracelety along inside of Pencil's group to try to let Pencil get more focus. Wait 1 second, I am getting a call. Okay, I'm back. It was just my mom. Anyway, as I was saying, I don't think they wanted Lie, so they put Bracelety in a group with Pencil and gave Pencil a more major role to try to make people forget about Bracelety. And David didn't really have a chance in the first place because he's David. So if they're putting David out of the contention, that leaves the people inside of Lie's group. All of them were like fixing their issues with each other and making themselves more likable because they needed them to actually have a storyline, because they can't have 3 groups and only one of them have something going for them. Match is basically out of the contention because they had more time inside of BFB, and Pencil's overall a more likable character, and once again they mostly share a fan base. Stapy had a somewhat decent chance, but not decent enough, so that just left Pencil and Lie, and they were hoping that since Pencil had a more major role, and they had been out for longer, they would get more votes, and they would be able to do what they wanted. But Lie ended up getting more, but Pencil was still in second, so they decided to change it to the top 2 debut, and they haven't been really giving Lie that much at all. I don't think it's their time to go yet, though. I'm just saying that I don't think they want Lie being in this season. They just didn't want to rig the votes because that would be unfair. That leaves Bottle and TV in the bottom 2. Either of them could go, but let's be real, it's Bottle. And I'm going to say that they aren't taken by one. Now for Cloudier. How exciting. I feel like at around episode 16, they're going to start giving Pencil more because, like, Ice Cube is gone and Book only has so much time because, like, they're a liked character but not liked enough to survive in the long run. So they will probably be doing stuff to make Pencil sympathetic or more likable. Make it seem like they're being vilified by the rest of their team for doing basically nothing wrong. Make them be losing the challenges on accident because, as we know from as I remember from some eliminations with the S, if you mess something up with your team, people are going to feel bad for you. They're going to give you votes. Like when Rocky vomited in the cereal, he ended up being one of the most voted contestants. Then in the next time the S lost, Yellowface lost for them and got a lot of votes. And Rocky got eliminated because he wasn't the one who messed it up. So I feel like they're going to do something to ensure that Pencil is safe. GB is obviously going to be safe, and Winner is going to be next. That means the bottom two are Pillow and Donut. Donut at this point probably has gotten their arms back from one and have something going with them, making there be more mystery to their story like there is with Fanny. Yes, that meant Ice Cube Ice Cube had that going and was still eliminated, but that one wasn't too much of a question at all. And it was a little bit back, but Donut probably just got their arms back and people are like, ooh, arms. Donut is so interesting now. Ooh. And Pillow, yeah. Like, they don't have the good dynamics that they had with Just Not, which makes them more likable for some people because, like, they're not just murdering their teammates and making them lose inside of a zombie apocalypse, for a random example. But I see Donut surviving over Pillow here. And they get taken by one. I feel like episode 18 is when they're going to start realizing, oh, one is actually a big threat. Donut and Fanny can't really do anything to stop them because of their deals with one to help them out. 2 realizes what is going on and makes the challenge to try to go and save them. Donut and Fanny try to make their team not do it because of their deal with one, which confuses their teams a lot. And I feel like this will end up resulting in Death Pact yet again and Cloudier being the losers, but I do think that most of the characters on one's plane will be rescued. Like Pillow, Snowball, Ice Cube, Tree, and let's say Belle and Needle are also rescued. But Bommy, Barfbag, and Gady are still in one's plane. Barfbag because, like, they will probably feel the leadership role there. Bommy just for lulz. And Gady because, like, they were the closest with 2 and is probably the most desperate to get out. And that also means that 2 is in conflict because they want to have Gady back. But we move on to episode 19. Also, Jack and Jellyfy, if you're watching, feel free to take these story ideas. I am going to say that Cloudier has their elimination first. Donut gets the most votes because, of course, they do after making their team lose. Golf Ball is also safe, meaning the bottom 2 are Pencil and Winner. Pencil, like, as I said, the writers are going to want them to stay in, and Winner, they debuted, like, this has been their only season, but they haven't really been getting too much lately, and I'm going to say that Pencil ends up surviving over Winner here, meaning that Winner gets eliminated, but they aren't taken by one. Next up is Death Pact's elimination. Fanny already has a large fan base, and after that, they are going to get votes. Black Hole is also safe. Pin, as I have stated earlier, they aren't really splitting their votes too much. But, yeah. Marker, their coolness of the green has probably worn off by now. And they also likely got a lot of votes last time they were up, so their fans don't think they're a threat, which is the same thing that happened, which resulted in Tree getting eliminated. I'm going to say that the writers would prefer for Pin to move on than Marker, so they would make Pin do stuff, and Marker gets eliminated. I would prefer Pin to get out, but I'm looking from a writer's perspective here. Then, as you can see, is the only team with 4 members left. And I feel like the writers would realize that if they had Death Pact yet again lose again, then Pin is doomed. They don't want anyone from Cloudier to get out, so they make Team 2 and lose. Yes, I know I said something earlier about it being too predictable to have the teams which won last time to be up, but I don't care. I do what I want. And the show itself would not be able to afford if Cloudier lost again, because at this point, Donut would still be having the coolness factor for what they did in the last episode, and it would probably result in Pencil getting eliminated, which, as I said, the writers probably do not want. I'm going to say that. Wait, I'll save that for later. Anyway, let's start off with elimination. First safe is TV. Also safe is Pen. Lie, as I said, the writers probably don't want it. And TV has a fan base, and they could probably have him do something. I'm going to say that they make it so TV ends up doing something interesting enough to survive, so Lie gets eliminated. Hate me all you want, I feel like it's what the writers would do. And I know I'm using the writers as an excuse a lot, but I don't even care at this point. Now for Team 2. It's obvious that Grassy is going to survive because they aren't splitting their votes with Snowball at all, so they'll probably get, 50,000 votes, 50 million votes. And I'm gonna guess that Book ends up surviving, so that means that Price Tag is eliminated. 2 debuters gone together. I'm going to say that at some point this episode, Bommy ends up escaping or getting rescued. So he is out of one's plane. But Barfbag and Gady are still there. I'm going to say it's possible that they don't send them to Two's hotel to, talk with him and try to discover a way to save the other 2. But I feel like they would be worried that if they did that one would be able to get them because Two's hotel is a safe place, and yeah. So after the elimination, it is time for the merge. I believe that in the episode where the merge occurs, it will be a non-elimination. And they are going to have a rejoin. I'm only writing 1 character to get rejoined, though it's likely they would do 2. But I feel like it would be easier to go on with 12 than it would with 13. So it is announced that there is going to be a rejoin. And I'm going to say that everyone eliminated before the team swap is eligible because they think that popular characters who were recently eliminated would have too good of a chance to rejoin, so they just wouldn't put them up and only have the pre-team swappers. So, episode 21. I don't think I really need to talk too much. Remote is rejoining. No questions asked. They know that there should be a rejoin, and they know that Remote is probably going to win it. That's why I think they wanted to get Marker and Tree eliminated. Yes, this means Rocky is sadly not coming back. I am as sad as you all are, but let's continue. I'm gonna pick 4 contestants to lose. Actually, 5. The ones who are gonna lose this time: TV, Donut, Pen, TB, and Fanny. Time to go to episode 22. So, let's see. First one safe, I am going to guess, is Fanny, because of the one stuff, which is giving them more conflict, and they're popular in the first place, too. TB is also safe, along with Pen. Donut has the one stuff going on, but that potentially has worn off a little. And TV is just TV. They're eliminated. I don't have an argument for TV. Oh, wait. This was supposed to be a double elimination. Sorry, Donut. Oopsies. I feel like this is going to be the final conflict with one. It's going to be where one is defeated, as well as Gatey and Barfbag getting rescued. So one is now dead. And I see characters who would, like, Death Pact characters could go for just saving the one still in one's plane. But if they don't do that, I don't see them winning because, like, death prevention. Fanny could go for it, but, wait, no, they couldn't because of their deal. And Fanny would end up losing no matter what. After all of their stuff with Snowball, Grassy would definitely be able to be of good help. Golf Ball could invent something. They are probably going to write Pencil to help. TV doesn't end up helping enough and is up for elimination. I'm going to say that Black Hole is able to rescue someone and is safe. Remote does not. Pin does something to be safe. Book also does, but Pen is up for elimination again. Actually, I'm gonna swap GB and TV here. Let's say that, like, TV makes something, GB claims it as theirs. TV snaps at Golf Ball, saying that they need to stop claiming credit for TV's inventions. And Golf Ball apologizes, but they still end up losing. On to episode 23, where we have the elimination array. Remote is definitely safe because they rejoined pretty recently, and they're probably having some interesting stuff with characters like Pen, Fanny, and Black Hole. As well as potentially Pin, because they were in Death Pact yet again. Fanny, I see also surviving, and Golf Ball, I see it being in the bottom two because after TV snapped at them, people just see the bad side of Golf Ball and some of their voters don't vote for them, while Pen is just really Pen. They don't really have too many characters to interact with anymore. Snowball's out, Eraser's out, Needle's out. They could be having interactions with TB, but Golf Ball is also having interactions with TB. I see Golf Ball barely surviving the elimination here, and Pen is eliminated. So Golf Ball and Tennis Ball reconcile in this episode of 23. All of the members who have been in Death Pact decide to work together in this challenge. Book ends up losing. I don't know how. Grassy loses. Tennis Ball ends up losing because they're too focused on trying to forgive GB that they just don't do the challenge right. And despite the entirety of Death Pact's efforts, Black Hole ends up losing. The rest of them end up surviving the challenge, though. Episode 24. I feel like this is where Grassy's popularity, or a few episodes before, starts to dwindle, because like they don't have Snowball anymore, and their fans are going towards other characters who they may find interesting, like Fanny or Pencil. Regardless, I feel like Grassy would still be the first safe, and Tennis Ball would be safe, followed by Black Hole. Yeah, Book really does not have a chance of surviving that elimination. I feel that they would then have Pin lose along with Pencil, and the other two who would lose the challenge would be Remote and Grassy again. Elimination time. Remote is the first safe, followed by Pencil. Pin has interactions with Death Pact, but they don't have characters like Needle, Gady, Coiny, Robot Flower, none of them. And Grassy, as I said, their popularity is starting to dwindle, but they still have a lot of popularity, so they end up surviving, and Pin is eliminated. The characters that lose the next challenge: TB, GB, Fanny, and Remote. Time to see who makes the final 6 and who does not. The coolness of Remote's rejoin is starting to dwindle at this point. GB and TB are obviously splitting votes here, which is not good for either of them. But in the end, Fanny is the first one safe, followed by Remote, because the other two are splitting votes too much. Even though they still had a lot of votes on Are You Okay, there are only 4 up here, while Are You Okay had a lot more members than 4. So GB and TB end up in the final 2. Bottom 2. And I see GB surviving here because people just see that TPOT is GB's season, BFDIA is TB's, and TB, I feel like, would probably end up making the final 3 inside of BFDIA, so he ends up getting eliminated here. Which upsets Golf Ball a lot, and then TB confesses their love to GB and asks if GB will be their girlfriend, and GB says yes, but then 2 just awkwardly makes Tennis Ball disappear. I know, it's absolutely perfect. Then, after that, GB is more motivated and wants to win the season for Tennis Ball. And they end up winning the challenge. The characters who do not win are Grassy, Black Hole, and Fanny. Episode 27. First safe is Fanny. Grassy and Black Hole are the bottom 2. Grassy, as I said, popularity is dwindling, and a Black Hole is splitting some of their votes with Fanny, and they probably are becoming the least interesting character left of the Death Pactors. And despite Grassy's dwindling popularity inside of this, I see Black Hole getting eliminated still. Next challenge is a purge. Anybody could be eliminated. Who is the one who is certainly not getting eliminated is Pencil, for obvious reasons. Neither is GB. Fanny also survives. I think they would either want to eliminate Grassy because despite of their popularity dwindling, they aren't getting out, or Remote because there are still 2 members of Death Pact again left, and they want one of them to be eliminated, and because of Remote's rejoin, people aren't really voting them off. And I see that with the Purge challenge, they end up deciding to eliminate Remote. So it's on to episode 28. There obviously wasn't a vote, so there would probably just be another popularity poll or something. Now, inside of episode 28, only one character can win the challenge. And I see that they have Pencil win. On to episode 29. 29! Golf ball survives, so does Fanny. Grassy, get out of here. Now only one of these characters can get a guaranteed spot inside of the final two. And I feel like they would make it so it is golf ball because, let's be real, they've earned it the most. Do 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 do. I see this is where Pencil is finally eliminated. Meaning that we are in episode 30, which will just be everybody voting for who they want to win TPOT. It is time for the finale. But first, we obviously need to see who is rooting for each character. They've done it in the other finales. I see them doing it in this one too. Fanny, golf ball. Fanny, golf ball. Fanny, 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 Fanny. Fanny. Golf ball. Golf ball. Fanny. Golf ball. Fanny. I'm acting like it's actually a hard choice with some of these. Fanny. 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 Golf ball. Fanny. 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 Golf ball. Fanny. Golf ball. Golf ball. Because, not on Death Pact. Fanny. They don't respect GB enough. Fanny. Fanny. Price tag. Fanny. TV. GB. Fanny. Golf ball. Fanny. Fanny. Golf ball. Fanny. Fanny. Golf. No, definitely Fanny. And Fanny. So as you can see, the votes between eliminated contestants are very close. But what about the votes between the viewers? Well, I wish I could say it's a hard decision, but I feel like it really isn't too difficult to decide. Because golf ball, there's just no way they don't win. So yeah, that's my TPOT prediction. Let's see how wrong it is going to be. The letter F.